over the world, people think about and talk about time and place events in time. But the way this is done is not the same in all cultures. In our culture, we are used to thinking in terms of calendar time and clock time. But is this the same for everyone? In this film, we are going to show you how time is thought about and expressed in the languages and cultures of 3 indigenous communities of Brazil. Time is a mystery that many famous thinkers have tried to unravel. Time is something that we all experience, and mostly we think about it and talk about it in terms of the passage of time or of our own journey through life. But it is really true for all people in all different cultures and languages around the world. That's the question I set out to explore by finding out about how people in indigenous cultures of Brazil understand time. Before going on to talk about my findings, let's ask a question. What is time? Actually, nobody knows the answer. Scientists disagree about the answers to some very basic questions. Does time really pass like a moving arrow? And does it have a single direction? Can we say that time exists apart from our experience of it? Do past, present, and future exist? Does everything have its time as well as having a location in space? Well, if so many scientists don't know the answers to these questions, I won't even try to answer them because my own question is difficult enough. My question is, does everyone around the world think and talk about time in the same way? To answer this question, I am going to take you on a journey to my home country, Brazil. But first, let's look at the way we are accustomed to thinking about time. Let's start by thinking about how we experience events. Every event has a duration, longer or shorter, a millisecond or an eternity. And every event has its own place in a sequence of events, before or after the other events. What's more, we can orient ourselves in time, just as we orient ourselves in space. So, for example, in space, I can say that I am in London, in this building, in this room. In the same way, I can say that I am speaking today, or that I did something else yesterday, or that I will do something different again tomorrow. I can precisely locate the time of an event by using calendars and clocks. For example, I can say that my birthday is on the 19th of May. Clocks and calendars also enable us to measure time intervals, years, months, days, hours, minutes, seconds. All these ways of thinking about and talking about time are second nature to us. But is this the way that everyone in every culture thinks about time?
Here are the three communities in which we are investigating how time is organized and conceptualized. Let's see who are they and where they live. Huni Kuĩ are a people living in the tropical forest in the states of Acre and southern Amazonas, close to the Andes on the border with Peru. They speak the Hachakuí language that belongs to the Pano linguistic family. The Huni Kuĩ are also known as Kaxinawa. The population in Brazil is approximately 12,000, including individuals who are living in the cities, and in Peru is about 2,500. They live in 100 villages in 11 different reservations, distributed across 5 municipalities: Jordão, Feijó, Marechal Tamaturgo, and Santa Rosa, in Acre State. The community that we are working with lives in the village called Aldeia Repouso, located on the Purus River. The population of this village is approximately 120 people, including adults and children. Huni Kuĩ keep many aspects of their culture secret, but they are happy to share with us some other aspects, such as how they talk about and understand time. We are especially grateful for the help of Dr. Joaquim Kaxinawa, the first doctor in linguistics from the village, who is working with us. The Kamaiurá people live in the Xingu National Indigenous Park in Mato Grosso State in Brazil. They speak the Kamaiurá language, which belongs to the Tupi-Guarani family. This is a large family of languages spoken by many indigenous groups in Brazil. The Kamaiurá total population is 520 people. We are working with a community living in Ipaú village. In this village, the population is about 230 people. Kamaiurá like to share and show their culture. They like to dance and sing. The men play the flute. A popular pastime is huka huka, a kind of wrestling participated in by men and women as well as children. Huka huka competitions are a key part of Kamaiurá life. They like to play football too, and the women and the men have separate annual tournaments. As they say, our culture is strong and alive. Nossa cultura é viva e forte. The Awetý people also live in the Xingu Indigenous Park. The Awetý language also belongs to a Tupian branch. The total population is about 360 people. They live in 3 different villages. This research took place in a village called Saidão Fumasa, with a population of 72. Their culture too is strong and vital. Everybody speaks the Awetý language, but many of them speak other languages too, such as Kamaiurá, Waurá, and Portuguese. The population is quite young, with many young adults and children.
Kamaiurá Awetý. Marcelo Awetý Saidão. Itereja Pacola Awetý. Itereja Surekumala Awetý. Irera ako ultravi sawaki unika.
Irera chika amari Kamaiurá.
Irera denawa tausha Kamaiurá.
Kaluana hoti Kamaiurá.
Ciao.
They also like to sing, to dance, and play huka huka and play football. Dr. Wari Kamaiurá, who collaborates with us, is also an Awetý speaker. His mother is Awetý and his father is Kamaiurá. Marriage between different people from different ethnic groups is quite common in the region. Our research group includes Dr. Wari Kamaiurá, Dr. Paltu Kamaiurá, and Dr. Joaquín Kashinawa. Together, we aim at understanding event-based time intervals.
We often think about events as being on a timeline, so they can be in front of me or behind me. For example, in English we can say, I have decided to leave my past behind me. In English, the past is always behind me. and the future is located in front of me. In Huni Kuĩ, Kamaiurá, and Awetý cultures, this can be different. For example, in the Huni Kuĩ culture, the past is inside the heart, very deep inside the heart. And the future is inside the mind. Yes, the future is located inside the mind, not in front of me or behind me. In Kamaiurá and Awetý, the past is inside my eyes. Things that happened in the past are stored inside the eyes. For the Kamaiurá and Awetý people, the future is located in front of the eyes. I may be thinking of doing something, and these things didn't happen, but I can see it right in front of my eyes. So here we can see how different cultures have different ways of situating events in time. Time can be a line from the future to the past, or from the past to the future. It can be in your vision, in your memory, or in your imagination. Each way has its unique value in representing the diversity of how we human beings think about and talk about time. To compare event-based time intervals in Kamaiurá, Awetý, and Huni Kuĩ with our own notions of clock time and calendar time, we can use the notion of a cognitive artifact. Cognitive means anything to do with thought or mind, and an artifact is something made by people. Tools are one kind of artifact. So, cognitive artifacts are tools for thinking. In our culture, we have numbers, calendars, and clocks, which give us concepts like weeks, months, and years. However, in Huni Kuĩ, Kamaiurá, and Awetý, there are no cognitive artifacts like calendars and clocks. So, what kind of concepts do they use to think about time? Well, they think about time not in terms of numbers, but in terms of events. So, what is an event? An event is something that happens or takes place. A child is born, an election takes place, an atom moves. With this in mind, let's see how events form the basis of concepts of time in Kamaiurá, Awetý, and Huni Kuĩ. Their time is based on events, and we call this way of organizing time event-based time intervals. The main feature of event-based time intervals is the intervals is the event itself. In our culture, we often use event-based intervals. For example, we might say, I will meet you at lunchtime. Event-based time intervals are the way in which time is thought about in indigenous cultures in Brazil and in other parts of the world where people do not use clocks and calendars. So, to understand the event-based time intervals in these languages and cultures, we will show you how the life stages, the sunlight, the position of the sun, the water level, the stars, constellations, moon, activities, and a knot on the string are the foundations for concepts of time in Huni Kuĩ, Kamaiurá, and Awetý. It is fact that in these cultures they don't have birthdays. What they have are life stages: child, adolescent, adult, and old person. And for them, Life is a process of learning and acquiring skills. And the stages of life are categories of social lives, not a point on a lifeline. Because these stages of life are based on skills and responsibility. Each member of the community will pass through this process, and at each stage they will be recognized and respected for their social role in the community. So, the position of the sun, the light, daylight, and activities are important facts for the use of event-based intervals.
Ku Emma mueve. Morning, very early morning, it is getting light. Apiterubei. The sun is on top of the head. It means midday. Yuetik kaba arim. Huka huka time. Middle afternoon. Kwara itse ohom. The sun is gone. It disappeared. Sunset. Kotsaput aipoko up. Back from the field time. Tatik tumoko. It is getting dark. The daylight is disappearing. Okapok. The sun is on top of the house. Evening. Sunset. Apetepetejan. It is very dark. Midnight. Traditionally, Kamaiurá used knots on a string to measure the duration of a fishing expedition. This was the traditional way to measure time. So when we were camping for the night, we untied the first knot. On that first day, we don't fish, we just plan the fishing. The next day, the next knot is untied and we begin fishing as planned. That's how it goes, untying a knot every day throughout the fishing trip. In Kamaiurá and Awetý, the stars also index time intervals. The activities of planting and harvesting cultivated crops and wild fruits, traditional festivals and fishing are linked to the appearance of 9 constellations. These constellations also indicate the period of rain, heavy rain, cold weather, windy period, breeze, drought, sun heat, therefore indicating rain season and dry season. Yanupita, Equidad, Tucananafa, Tucanan, Atzingau, Ye Ukeot, Tabarit, Enya, Sifet.
The moon's phases or shapes are indices of the beginning and end of the female menstrual cycle. They are event-based time intervals. We always look out for the moon. When we look at the moon, we already know and worry that we are going to menstruate. Women are always afraid of menstruation. Every woman has her own moon, so every woman menstruates on a different day. When the woman does not menstruate at her moon, the woman becomes anxious or she knows that she is pregnant. I always menstruate it at my moon. This one here, I never got it wrong.